Welcome back to Running the Riffs coverage of the NACL 2024 Spring Qualifier 1. It's game 2 between CCG and Team Fish Taco. Yanni and Thousand Eyes still on the call for you here for game 2. Thousand Eyes, it was a crazy game 1, reminiscent of their game 1 in the last best of 3 that they played. And it went the same way. CCG took the victory in game 1. Game 2, taking a look at picks and bans. Lots of things off the board. Remember, this is Fearless Draft, so a lot of options no longer available.
Yeah, so obviously you can't run back the same thing you did before. And obviously, with that Callista not being a pickable carry, Team Fish Taco want to take that away. Lots of 80 carry bans over to Red, who dominated on that Aphelios in the late game there. The Karma is left open, though, and that will be picked up for CCG. The response to the Caitlyn just trying to get that distance in the lane and avoid those Karma ult Qs to just not have to deal with it.
Yeah, and good response here from Team Fish Taco, picking away the Caitlyn. Gonna go for Jinjiao this time as well. And it does leave Karma Ezreal available. Red had a really good game on Ezreal. And, you know, I am pretty excited for what this draft is going to mean as we're going to see that Ezreal get locked in here.
Yeah, this has been one of the more common bot lanes that we have seen in the current meta. Karma very strong with the Malignance and the Ezreal getting buffs as well. Has been extremely potent in that bot lane. Very difficult to deal with. Even the Caitlyn, no matter what you pair with that, it's not going to be able to match in poke, and it's not going to be able to match in lane prio as well, likely. As we're going to see the Wukong locked in. It's very bruiser heavy jungle this time around, and the Lux will be picked up. This has flexibility, although I would likely expect this to be going into the bottom lane for Snow.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a Wukong top. Remember his most recent buff? His Q now has much further range. Like it is over doubled, I believe. So he's a little bit more of a bully in a solo lane. That was a change intended to make solo lane Wukong better. Not saying that is what's going to be the option here, but just think about it. Just put that in the back of your mind as you're watching this pick and ban come through. And again, you mentioned Kate Lux versus Ezreal Karma. You know, we don't know if there's going to be kills. We don't know if there's going to be no kills. Because to be quite honest with you, it could really go either way. A couple more bans getting thrown out here. Nico and Azir are a pair of mid lane bans each. Meanwhile, Olaf has to be taken away because I believe it was Vaken who no, it was not Vaken who played the Olaf. It actually went over to Crimson. So they're aware that this Wukong might be going into the jungle, and they don't want to give the Olaf over to Crimson to just run people down.
Definitely not, especially after game number 1 went so well in the top side for Hoarder. You want to try to keep that momentum going and really tilt Crimson off the face of the planet. So do not give him any chance that he could just run away with. Although now we're going to see Aatrox locked in, so they are keeping this Lux a flex for the time being. We're going to have to see the solo lanes locked in for CCG. Yone is the hover, which would be an interesting, I would assume, blind pick into this bot lane. And we'll see if the Wukong will go up into that top side or we're going to get a jungler here for this final pick.
You know, one thing I want to talk about that you mentioned. Do you think Crimson is tiltable at this point? I mean, the guy's team won. He had a huge hand in that game after being so far behind at the dumpster. Like, I don't think they would be able to tilt this guy, right? At this point, he just seems unflappable.
I think if
As
I had a really rough early game and then got another game with a really rough early game, even if I pulled it back, I would still be a little sad.
That's true. That's true. You're going to see a couple more lock-ins here so that Yone was officially locked in. They're going to pair it up with the Ari as well as your solo laner. So it looks like it will be Wukong in the jungle. And meanwhile, the final pick for Team Fish Taco, it's going to be Jax. You know what that means? That means we are going to see Aatrox, Jax as your solo laners. This is a pretty interesting adaptation here by Team Fish Taco. putting a traditional top laner into your mid lane, it is going to have to go up against Nari.
Yeah, I think they picked that expecting the Yone to be going mid, which I did as well, to be fair, but it does have that flexibility. We'll be going up onto the top side, and that does mean the Wukong will be in the mid lane. And while Jax is generally a fine matchup into the Yone, does pretty solidly. It's it's definitely another champion that, okay, well, if Crimson falls behind, it'll feel bad, but you still have ults to use. You still have the ability to just get in and get out. Really slippery champion on that Yone, and that's kind of feels like the whole team for CCG. You've got the Yone, the Yari, the Ezreal, even Karma with her ult W is really difficult to get a hold of. Everything about CCG is just screaming skirmish.
Yeah, but so is everything about Team Fish Taco, right? I think that they've drafted a bit of a different identity on both fronts, right? Their bot lane is going to be like, hey, we're going to just poke super hard. We're going to try to attract a bunch of jungle attention, and we're going to try to win that straight up 2v2. Meanwhile, mid and top and jungle, look at them. Jax, Xin Zhao, Aatrox, that's the goon squad. They're just going to run around. They're going to be a couple of goons, a trio of goons walking into your jungle, and they're going to look to fight anything that moves. I'm actually very interested to see how aggressive this triumvirate is going to be early on in this match, and how CCG is going to be able to answer it, right? Because if they get a couple of kills, this Team Fish Taco team could get rolling, and I have a feeling that they're not going to let a second game where they're in the lead slip through their fingers.
Yeah, I feel like Team Fish Taco have a bit of a they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder going into this game. First game seemed like it was going to go really well. Unfortunately, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit. This time around, I'm even more worried for them because where I think last game it felt like their stats just kind of fell off and they couldn't be relevant in the late game anymore. That applies in this game to a harder degree, I would argue. If Jax cannot get going, if the Aatrox doesn't do his thing, Xin Zhao is like the definition of a stat stick champion. Those champions fall behind. I don't know what options Team Fish Taco have, and they need to win this game.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Thousand Eyes. This seems like a kind of tilt comp, right? You know, when like a team has realized that they are mental boom and they're just, pick me whatever, let me lose in peace. This feels like a potential pick me whatever composition here. And when you play a marathon of a game, even though it was only 30 minutes, so we're gonna see Snow 2 and Levitate potentially getting a little bit of trouble here. They're gonna take quite a bit of damage, but deal a fair amount back. When you get into a position where you are so far ahead in a prior game and you end up losing, right? And now your backs are against the wall. What does that do to your mental, right? Like, they're coming in
the
this
stress.
game, they could just be coming in flat this game.
Definitely. I mean, you could come in flat, you could come in with, like feeling like, all right, no, we can do this. We messed up, like, but we're very capable here. There's a lot of ways you can feel, but there's a lot of ways that just kind of falls apart if things don't go well at the beginning. It's very easy for your mental to boom, and Fish Taco, they're gonna jump on this.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get on top of Aiken and they're gonna force the flash out. Bacon is not going to be able to do much here. Flocon is on his way, and so is Crimson. It's a 3v2 in favor of CCG. Sudsy is late on the rotation. Limo is hitting level 2, which means Bacon is going to die. It's first blood. They're going to knock up Crimson as well and force the flash out of Crimson. Team Fish Taco, the Goon Squad, getting it done before the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, and that's them setting the tone here and making sure that they do get that early lead that they desperately want. They don't want to be in that position of things go bad, so we just tilt off the face of the planet. They confirm a good early start by playing just very weird and jumping on people in the jungle. And Team Fish Taco with a early lead, and this Kate Lux also really difficult to deal with, even as Ezreal Karma.
Yeah, you can see that there's a lot of health being traded here. Most of it is on the Levitate, though, right? So he's a little bit lower than everybody else right now. If they get a little bit more damage on him, it could be bad news for the Team Fish Taco bot lane, but they're just going to mellow out for right now, as you can see. Porter trying to get a little chippy onto Crimson here, and he's doing quite a bit, just keeping him off the wave. trying to deny whatever EXP possibly can. And we'll see. I'm interested to see how this jungle pathing is going to adjust, right? Because they know that blue buff for CCG is still up. And Limo headed to the bot side to take his. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a little weird.
It's going to be a little out there, but I mean, Wukong, he does kind of just clear fine. The pathing will be a little bit weird, but that can work out in your favor as well, too, right? Because it just means your laners now know, the enemy laners know nothing about it. And lots of poke on this Caitlyn, forcing it back right now. Vacant looking for a dive. Flocon in the vicinity as well. This can get messy real fast.
The pings are out. Levitate is low on HP, and Snow has no mana available. They could potentially catch out Limo, but Limo wisely trying to duck around. Misses the charm, but Limo is very low, and they can't really help him out. And Flocon's going to get the kill. They're going to dive Levitate, and Levitate goes down as well after burning all the summoners. And they're trying to goon squad onto Snow, and they take him out too. Teleport coming through. Porter is going to move forward, get a double stun, but he's got to back off. And CCG get away with murder.
Everything goes wrong in the start, but CCG with the mental fortitude to turn it around, see the opportunity on the bot side, say, you know what, my pathing is messed up. Let's take advantage of it. Let's go to this bot side. Flocon always should have the opportunity to push Sudsy in, and you just 4-man rotate onto the bot side. The fact that these champs are so skirmish heavy means it's so easy to dip in and out of those tower shots. We saw Red just go in under the turret and flash back out. Very difficult to stop a dive like that from happening, and the TP being burned as well now means Crimson gets an opportunity to free farm up on top side.
Yep, he's going to get a lot of really good EXP there. Try to equal out the levels here. Levitate and Snow 2 are going to begin the ascent of pushing up again. But junglers on the top side means that things should be okay for them on the bottom side, even though they are down, at least in a level 2 red. Limo is going to head back down to the bottom side. It looks like he's willing to just take the dragon instead of the Grubba-Dub-Dubs. And Vacant heading up to the top side. We'll see what CCG elects to do. So that dragon has been started up with all that priority on the bottom side. Flocon is going to move over and looking to maybe help out with Grubs, but Porter is moving down. So lots of moves to be made here.
Definitely. And Flocon, obviously, with that 2-0, is going to look to really pressure the map, hitting that level 6 point. I'd love to see this Ahri push, shove, make use of that level 6, and really turn this game's speed up to 11 here for CCG. They have all the opportunities to run away with it, and that kind of harkens back to that, like, yeah, if this team falls behind, what do? They don't have the stats to match up. We're already in threat of that occurring in the mid game.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco is going to need to make some sort of play to really get themselves back into this one, because the Grubs have been secured by Vacant, so it'll be a nice feather in the cap there for CCG. We'll see if they're able to make any hay of it. They're not able to get close on the bottom side, at least, to deal any damage to that turret. Sudsy is pushing in Flocon. The only one who maybe could do anything with him is Crimson, so that is a file it under. We'll use this later, I'm sure.
Definitely. Things are going to slow down for just a little bit here. We do see Grubs picked up on the one hand. In response, the dragon will be taken. So, same trade that we're used to seeing. If we look at farm advantage, it's interesting to note Hoarder again. 20 farm up about on Crimson. And that's with the teleport down to the bot side. So, Porter really doing well, and Yone struggling, despite the fact that with that TP, it should obviously be in favor of Crimson.
Yeah, Crimson has not had the greatest early laning. I mean, there's a lot of expectations pushed upon this guy, right?
Yeah.
Being, twin brother of Sniper and everything like that, right? Younger brother of Viper. Everybody's already talked about it, which means we're going to talk about it again. But, he really is his own player, and he's still developing, right? He's still a very good player, a good young player. Plays at a very high level, but it's, he needs a little bit more time to cook here. And it's really nice to see CCG doing well. because he gets some of that extra experience. And you know, I'm excited to see him really pop off and do well one of these games. But you know, he has had a bit of a struggle. He's been riding the struggle bus, but the rest of the team has been there to pick him up, right? And that's the most important thing. That's true teamwork right there. Snow with a flash. Wait, Snow's going to get rooted right in front of this turret and take a heck of a lot of damage. He's very, very low, and Vaken is on the backside here. Belimo's going to engage first. Heal coming out, but Snow goes down. Trevor gets the kill. Vaken trying to weave in and out, but Levitate might be able to take him down. Catches a stray Q, but Red can't get closer. The root goes down. Trevor gets slowed. Can Limo get in there? Red trying to deal as much damage as he can, but Sudsy is on the roam. He's got to shift away, but Limo misses the wind, becomes lightning, but Sudsy is going to flash in and take down Red. Going to root up the Aatrox, but the charm misses, and Team Fish Taco takes a 2-for-1.
Yeah, good turnaround there from Team Fish Taco, and all of a sudden, the lead is swapping back and forth here constantly. Feels like neither team is really giving up per se, but I'm kind of just surprised at how back and forth both these games have been already.
Yeah, and the pendulum is just swinging back and forth. Thousand Eyes, these teams are truly evenly matched. We said it during our first match that this may be the closest best of 3 that you're going to see in the closed qualifiers, and it has not disappointed so far. Still very early, but now again, gold knotted up. You're not doing anything with these Void Grubs on the side of CCG, and that just means that the incremental value of the Ocean Soul was worth much more to Team Fish Taco at this point.
Definitely. Bacon deep in enemy territory here with the help of Trevor. Limo has to give this.
Yeah, they could do something here. Team Fish Taco, they're looking to collapse here. Vaken is the one who gets rooted up, but Sudsy takes a lot of damage and goes down. CCG get a nice little pick.
Yeah, Sudsy kind of walking up thinking, I can get this. I'm an Aatrox. I should be able to fight this. And Cyclone alongside the extra help there from the Ezreal really puts out a lot of damage, especially when World Ender was not up for Sudsy. So I think not watching the cooldowns correctly really costs another death for Team Fish Taco.
And it looks like it's going to be Void Grubs time here for the side of CCG. Trevor is almost dead to the Void Grubs, but is able to deal enough damage to them, keep their attention so that Vaken could get there in time. And if you get 6 Grubs, well, you just have to do something with it, right? If CCG manages to just knock on one of these towers ever so slightly, it's going to get ripped apart like tissue paper.
As we see, bot lane's moving over to mid, trying to get a little bit more money into this Caitlyn. The Caitlyn has not been super relevant for a lot of this game, and that feels like it's a little bit of the problem here. You took the Kate Lux trying to match the Ezreal Karma, but things went so poorly early on that it doesn't feel like Caitlyn's doing a whole lot for this game. Dragon will be slain, and it's again red side that we see getting the double dragon start right away. So a win condition set up for the Soul now, this time on Team Fish Taco.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco is just going to have to make sure that they get to the 3rd dragon and secure it, right? And that's something that a lot of teams have really struggled to do, is that they'll give up the Void Grubs, and then, you know, it's like, okay, we'll take the dragons in exchange, but then they're so far behind that a 3rd dragon ends up going to the team that took the Void Grubs, right? And we can already see it starting to trend that way. You can see the damage that Red has been putting out in this game when he's landing these skill shots. It is very, very difficult. The immense pressure that CCG's bot lane is putting on to Kate Lux has done a lot, as Flocon is forced to burn his ult here. You see, Order in the top side could be in a lot of trouble, as Vaken is here to try to potentially clean up this kill. Good knock up after the blast cone was used, and Crimson will get credit for this one. Good collapse play.
Good turnaround there, and now CCG again starting to pull back away here. Again, it's just so back and forth. I don't know how to predict anything in this, because it feels like once one team gets the lead, it's just kind of inevitable that another team starts to pull back into the game and kind of run away with things for a little bit. We just kind of play hot potato with the lead a little bit.
Yeah, 2 big plates for Crimson there. Sudsy getting some plates on the bottom side. They're going to force the Jax TP out. That's good stuff, right? So they used at least a little bit of their Void Grubs as we are in the middle of a very small pause here. No, never mind. We're getting resumed. Everything is all good, actually. We are right back in it. We're going to start talking about, what this means for these teams, right? Obviously, this is a win or go home match, and Team Fish Taco, this star-studded team, right? Levitate and Snow 2, guys that did qualify for the NACL, but not on teams right now, as well as Sudsy. They're on the outside looking in right now. Bot lane collapse means that turret is going to go down. First turret will go over to Team Fish Taco.
And with all the action that we've seen, the fact that that's the first turret feels a little a little strange at this point. Yes, it is still full plates, but with how much it's gone back and forth, I'm surprised we have not seen a little bit more turret action. Now, we are going to see teams kind of recollect themselves here. Important to note, we still do have a lot. The gold is on the right people for CCG right now. You have 2 kills on the Ahri, you have 2 kills on the Ezreal, you have a kill on that Karma, who's going to want to build the Malignance, which is a more expensive item compared to most supports. So everything going exactly as CCG want. We're getting another bit of top lane action with that Rift Herald being started up as the mid lane gets pushed in, and we might have another fight coming, as I don't think CCG want to give this for free.
Absolutely not. They could get so many Void Mites. Remember, they have 6 of the Void Grubs, so the entirety of Team Fish Taco is here. Bacon wants to get in, down to about 2,500 HP. It's so low, and the red team, Team Fish Taco, secure, but a huge knockup coming through. Crimson is going to whiff, but he gets onto Snow anyway. They're going to try to pull back as Vacant has to try to get out, but it ends up being Team Fish Taco who are alive for now. Sudsy wants to go in. Trevor trying to root him up, but Sudsy looking once again to try to get in, but is pushed away. Team Fish Taco, though, got what they came for.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco.
Oh, they didn't get it.
Walk away. Yeah, oh, they didn't. No, you're right.
They still denied it, though. They still denied it.
They denied it. Nobody got it. Nobody's happy. Everybody goes home sad. But important to note that it is a full reset from Team Fish Taco. Vacant getting in there and getting out for free, too, is very crazy. The fact that the Wukong could just go that deep and get out is spelling a little bit of doom and gloom for Taco's later ventures. Dragon is going to be spawning in 53 seconds. Team's going to look to push these waves, get some control over that area, and try to play from there. It's again going to be a little bit of a poke battle. CCG has a bit of a weird composition. They're all skirmishers, but they're skirmishers in very different ways. It's a lot of poke from the Karma Ezreal, even the Ahri to a degree, and then you have the full-on engage potential. So you want to see Ezreal Karma poke people down, and then you want to see the engage later on from that Cyclone, from the Fate Sealed, from Ahri dashing in to try and finish people off.
And nobody's helping Team Fish Taco here in this mid lane. Bacon is here to try to make sure this wave gets pushed in so CCG can rotate over to the Dragon, get this mid control here. Gonna try to force Limo out as everybody's starting to move down, and Red's Qs are landing and doing a fair amount of damage. A True Shot Barrage is going to chunk out Snow just a little bit, who has no summoners, by the way. CCG moving in. Team Fish Taco does have the inside track as the Dragon has been started up. We're going to see on the backside, it's going to be Sudsy trying to cause some problems back here, but he should be able to blast plant away to safety. This does mean it's going to be a 5v4 for a very short time. Dragon down to 5,000 HP. Crimson wants to try to find a way in. Sudsy trying to come through on the flank. Here comes Quarter. He's going to hop it. He's going to get charmed. He's going to get caught, but Flowcon is low. Flowcon is dead. Limo is low, but Vacant is on the backside. He's going to try to slide his way out. Crimson gets a kill on the back end in the 1v1, trying to take out the jungler Limo, but he can't. And now it's Trevor and Red forced away as Team Fish Taco muscle their way and secure Dragon number 3 and put themselves on sole point for the next one.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco not getting a lot of kills out of that, but they're getting the important thing, the Dragon, the sole point now on Team Fish Taco, the thing that CCG could not land in the previous game. So now a Infernal Soul waiting in 5 minutes for Team Fish Taco, likely going to try to continue that pressure. And the fact that Team Fish Taco, they don't even need to get the kills. A lot of people ended up low. I like the restraint to realize we don't need the kills. What we need to do is just get them off the dragon so that we can confirm a victory and get ourselves into the next 5 minutes where every dragon counts.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco, they have put CCG on a timer that I don't think they're ready to execute on. That is going to be a big problem here. You take a look at the gold comparisons. We had them up for just a second. Sudsy is up very, very high onto Flocon, who has 128 CS at 18 minutes. Crimson's got 122. These guys are behind. They're not doing very well in the farm department. Sveikin wants to go in on Limo, but the rest of CCG is here. Limo could be caught. Porter on his way. Here comes the teleport as Levitate and Snow trying to bail their buddy out. Porter onto the backside, but Limo not taking a whole lot of damage, and the rest of Team Fish Taco is here. Crimson and Hoarder in a 1v1 on the side, but Crimson's going to have to snap back, which means Sudsy is ready to hop on him. Good ult from the Lux, did a lot of damage. Crimson's caught. Crimson is dead. Hoarder trying to get in there. It's on top of Vacant. Snow 2 very low as Flocon's off to the side. Vacant and Hoarder going head to head, and Vacant gets the better of him. But now, does he have a way to try to get in? He's at least got a turret that he can go back to, as another fight where blows are exchanged, but Team Fish Taco comes on ahead.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco, again, pressuring their advantage and continuing forward. Now you look at our kill, where the money is going right now. It's on the Xin Zhao, it's on the Aatrox, and that's great for right now. It is great to see those champions doing well. They have a lot of power. They can pressure at the moment. But the later this game goes, the more you're going to want that gold on almost anybody else. So things are great right now. You have the gold on champs that can be an engine for your team, but you need to get everything else going. The Caitlyn, the Lux, the Jax, all these champions still not helpful. And when we get into the late game, those champs are still behind. Team Fish Taco is going to have to fight from a deficit, even if they have a gold advantage.
I must say, I've really liked Team Fish Taco's strategy here. The last couple of fights went so well for them because Ezreal wasn't on his tier item. It looks like he's going back to just pick it up right now to finally have his fully stacked tier item ready to go as Muramana. And without that, in those prior fights, it was a big deal. You saw he wasn't dealing a whole lot of damage. So he finally has it now. So now that damage is going to come out, but guess what? It's almost 3,000 gold lead for the side of Team Fish Taco. They find themselves in the driver's seat once again. It is going to be a critical item break point for this dragon in a minute 45. Thousand Eyes, what are you looking for out of Team Fish Taco to try and make sure they secure this dragon? What does CCG need to do to make sure that they're the ones to claim their first dragon?
I mean, Team Fish Taco really need to just take advantage of their really strong members. The Aatrox and the Xin Zhao have the capability of running at people. They just need to be able to stick. If they can find a good flank or just a good fight at the right moment and really catch somebody out with that, that's going to be exactly what they need. On the other hand, I think that CCG really need to just soften everyone up, poke people, and get them low enough that they can then finish off the kills again with that kind of skirmishy composition that they have. And it seems like they found one.
Yeah, they find a pick onto Sudsy. They force the teleport out from the Jax, but now it's a 4v4. People are cut off. Flocon is stunned. Flocon's in trouble. He's got to try to dash out. Snow going to drop the ultimate, but it's going to whiff. Quarter getting very low. Limo forced to flash away. Crimson ready to follow up, but can't land. The knock-up is going to snap back, and now it's a 5v4. CCG with the man advantage and Dragon up at 35 seconds.
Dragon up very soon, and that is a problem for Team Fish Taco because they are playing for that soul. They have to back reset now. Red taking a lot of damage. This is a really good move from Levitate to force back the Ezreal, which is going to just change the timer. With that time that CCG had, they did not get control of the Dragon Pit, and now Red is low while the rest of Team Fish Taco have been able to reset, get full health, and be on the map for this Dragon.
He's in the red right now for sure. Could cause a lot of problems. Levitate is a little bit healthier, but remember, Red can move a little bit more, can poke a little bit more, so we'll see how this fight develops as Quarter and Limo want to get in there. They want a piece of the CCG team. Team is jockeying for some position here, trying to clear out whatever wards they can. CCG firmly in control of this mid wave based on their positioning. Team Fish Taco in Fog of War, but they know that Dragon's been started up. Sudsy going to try to do this again. Try and flank from the side. Hoarder is also on the side, ready to rip and go in whenever he can. Good burst damage out from Snow too. He's going to hop on a Flocon, and Flocon is dead. Hoarder going to get chased away, but Limo is going to go over the wall to try to take out Crimson. Crimson is very low, but he's going to have to snap back into a mess of trouble. Limo on a killing spree. Hoarder very low, but the kill goes down. Red gets chased away too, and CCG has completely fallen apart at a critical Dragon. It's going to be Dragon Soul for Team Fish Taco. They take a 4-for-1.
Yeah, and that is Team Fish Taco again, just kind of using their core that is strong and abusing it. And whoa! Oh no. That is even worse. Yeah, now everybody gone. That is the soul that's going to go over. That is now Baron on the table as well. And like we said, the core was really strong, just powerful frontline champions. And now Caitlyn gets a couple of gold in her pocket to be able to go back, reset, get some more items, and now come into this fight even stronger. Team Fish Taco, they are in a position now to try and close things out. I think if they can get a good win, they can get a Baron, they can push things from there.
And they're just so damn healthy, Thousand Eyes. I mean, double Sundered Sky for Limo and Sudsy means that they just never die. Like, they are not only bruiserish, but they are healing up too. It is just really hard to kill them, combined with the healing out of Aatrox's kit, the damage mitigation out of Limo's kit, on the Jin Zhao. It is just really good times here for Team Fish Taco, but they need to do what they couldn't do last game. They have to put this one away and force game 3.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's up in the air right now is Team Fish Taco wasn't able to finish things off last time, and things have gone so back and forth. I don't think I trust things to have changed within the last couple of minutes. Now, again, there's still that threat of eventually Aatrox and Jin Zhao, they can get kited out. The cooldowns become low enough that it's difficult for them to stick to people, and that will be a problem. But at the current moment in time, it feels like Team Fish Taco can push things and really get some advantages, as Red and Trevor kind of seeing that the Caitlyn and Lux are online.
Yeah, the writing is on the wall right now for CCG. You can see Limo is able to just walk up and start taking away some of Vaken's jungle. And, you know, a lot of credit to Vaken this game, who has really been what has kept CCG in the game, what got them ahead as well. It's just been so difficult for him to do much of anything. He doesn't have enough damage compared to, you know, Team Fish Taco's not only damage, but again, their just ability to stay alive is just causing too many problems for the side of CCG. They just don't have the damage to actually take them out. We're seeing a Lichbane come out for Flocon here, so Flocon realizing they just need more consistent damage out of their auto attacks rather than their spells, and maybe, just maybe, it'll be enough to put them over the top.
Yeah, Baron is on the table, and right now, Team Fish Taco is setting up traps, trying to get something, and I don't know what CCG really can do from here, because they have a lot of mobility, they have a lot of capabilities there, but there's not enough damage to finish things off. Limo and Sudsy can just run people down at the current time, and it feels difficult to try and get anything done. If anybody face checks there, one dash is not going to be enough to get away.
Yeah, we're going to see that with Red potentially in a minute here, as Limo is going to try to cut off this Ezreal. He is going to engage onto Vaken here, and Vaken going to hit the knockup, but Limo looking for a little bit more, won't be able to get it. Sudsy going over the wall. They are in hot pursuit. They've once again pushed CCG away from their structures, away from their jungle. This mid-inner turret under siege going to take a lot of damage. More things like that, Team Fish Taco will eventually be able to crack that structure. And things just getting a lot harder for CCG. As Hoarder on the top side is just going to be able to take out that top inner turret. An extra 700 gold in the man's pocket here. As Limo going to engage onto Crimson. Sudsy looking for a little bit more as well, but unable to do too much more. Ace in the hole. Good block there by Trevor as Crimson was flying around.
Yeah, and again, pressure just across the map right now, waves in shambles for CCG, and they just don't have an opportunity to move up. You can see waves go up, and then the entire jungle gets taken. Nothing for CCG to grab, and resources galore going into the pockets of Team Fish Taco. That soul blue trinket over on the Baron, the only real safety of vision that CCG have, and as soon as that goes, they're going to know they have to sprint over to that Baron area.
The good news is for CCG is Team Fish Taco has not won a convincing enough fight that forces them away, although they might just win it here as Red has to try to get out of dodge. He will be able to put the fancy feet on, but just as I say that, that means that Team Fish Taco, they're going to take control of the Baron pit here and maybe potentially start up this Baron. This is the one thing that CCG did not want. They wanted the Elder to potentially spawn before, you know, Team Fish Taco could try to get control of this pit, because, you know, you're totally okay with trying to flip an Elder at this point. The good news is Team Fish Taco hasn't been able to start up that Baron.
Yeah, it feels like it's a bit of just footsies, a little bit back and forth. Nobody wants to be the one to really pull the trigger, and I think I understand it from Team Fish Taco. It didn't go well last time around, so there's a bit of a threat. Lima's just walking right in, though, and there's Hoarder.
Yeah, I think the trigger has been pulled, but I'm not sure it's going the way CCG wanted. Limo pushing forward, Red getting caught in a corner, but he has to arcane shift away. Sudsy teleport coming in means that Flocon was left solo and takes a heck of a lot of damage. We are going to see a back come out from this Lux. Limo is also a little low, but he should be able to heal up on that blue buff. So it's members of Team Fish Taco taking resets, members of CCG taking resets. This Elder is up in 5 seconds. The Baron is up as well. Ultimately, Soul has not mattered for Team Fish Taco. We are going to see a fight at Elder.
And this is kind of the risk you always have when you do take Soul, is you have to make sure you're still in control of the game once Elder spawns, and really make sure you can land this smite on the Elder, because if things go wrong here, things go very, very wrong. And CCG, this is the opportunity they've been looking for. If the smite lands here and they can get this Elder Dragon, game turns entirely on its head.
5,000 HP and dropping. Where is Vacant? Vacant's finally been spotted out by Hoarder and is now being pushed away. They've stopped damage on the Elder, and the engagement goes down onto Levitate. Levitate is low. Levitate is dead. Big shutdown now, and now they're going to have to pull it off. But Red, he will be able to arcane shift away. Limo goes in, and they do so much damage. CCG gets popped and forced away as Team Fish Taco unable to push their advantage any further. But this does mean they could go right back on that Elder if they want.
Yeah, suddenly Caitlyn is gone, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the damage is there. They move forward enough to make sure they get on to the rest of the team. Now Vacant just has to walk away. Elder Dragon will be grabbed. It will only be going on to 4 people here, but it will be... They could. Yeah, okay, they are going to. This is a smart call. It's risky, but it is the smart call, and they're able to get...
Oh, Vacant's dead. Vacant's dead.
Vacant is gone.
Blasted away by the Dragon's Breath, and he is gone. And this does mean that Team Fish Taco can waltz their way over to Baron now, because the jungler of CCG is dead. And yeah, Levitate did not get the Baron buff. Not the Baron buff, the Elder buff. They waited so long, and yet it just didn't matter. Meanwhile, Limo super low. Red dropping that ultimate down, not enough to kill. Sudsy does not get rid of it. Flocon looking for more. Whoa. Flocon landed the charm, but I bet he wish he didn't, because Sudsy, the world ender, ends the lives of CCG's critical members.
Sudsy is just way too strong right now. You dive in, you think you got a chance, but then Aatrox alone has the capability to do a lot of damage. It's usually not a one-shot, but when you got Elder Dragon, it makes that health bar a little bit easier to pop, and Sudsy can just walk through. That's another route, and Bacon will back away with the clone, but now I think CCG just have to watch their Nexus go down.
Yep, Trevor is dead. Crimson is going to try to do what he can, but he gets executed as well, and Bacon can only watch as the final Nexus turret is still alive. 4 right now. Red and Flocon are up. Another chance at a 5v3, another chance at redemption, but Flocon gets popped. Bacon gets popped, and now it's Red watching as the rest of his team goes down. The Nexus exposed, and Team Fish Taco net up the series at 1 apiece. We go to the ultimate Game 3.
Yeah, and credit where it is due, CCG held on in that game a lot longer than we expected them to, but big congratulations for Team Fish Taco to hold that off.
What a fantastic game it was. We had doubts about the Team Fish Taco team composition, but Team Fish Taco, they got the job done. They force Game 3. Tess, I am incredibly excited to be able to cast Game 3 with you, which you can catch on the Running the Rift YouTube channel. I'm sure it'll be linked at the end of this video. We will see you there.